Can you just, just give us a little bit of history of your history, who you are, and a little bit about you.
Okay, well, I'm a registered pharmacist, went to pharmacy college, got a business degree and MBA while I was there also, and have pretty much worked in management type positions most of my career um, in the hospital, also long-term care pharmacy business, uh, hospital group purchasing, and then more recently, last part of my career was at the Walgreens uh, corporate office up in Deerfield, although I did work from home for the last couple of years
All right.
due to COVID.
Everybody, right?
Yep. And so retired in March.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Well, we've been working together for a long time. You may not even remember this, but what caused you to reach out to me in the beginning? Do you remember?
Well, we got a flyer in the mail for one of your classes. It was, yeah, I think you held it over to Illinois Benedictine, which is actually very close to our house.
Okay.
And, it was about, we were about that age where we're getting, probably about 5 years ago, maybe 6 or 7 years ago. What attracted me, I don't remember exactly what the title of the class was, but and I think you charged a small fee, but for it, which was fine. In fact, it kind of harks back to that thing that anything worth having is worth paying something for.
Sure. All right.
So anyway, and I think the classes consisted of 4 or 5 weekly sessions, something like that. Anyway, at the same time, we get these flyers, for free dinners, free this, free that, and I was really kind of turned off by that. It's kind of like trying to buy your business. But this seemed like it would be more educational. It was about the time I was starting to really kind of think about um, what might happen when we retire,
Uh-huh.
or what we might need to do. And I was kind of realizing at that point I needed to know more information.
All right.
I didn't know how Social Security worked exactly. I think I'd actually just picked up a book and started looking at it about Social Security and began to realize how complex it kind of is. How many different decisions you might have to make regarding it. Anyway, I was interested in the educational aspects of it, and I did find the class very helpful, very useful. And I think that was the first time my eyes were open to the prospects of higher taxes in the future and the things that were driving that, and possible inflation, which seems
That,
to be coming
no,
about right now.
no
Yeah.
longer a theory, right?
Yeah. And really kind of started me on the path to realizing, it's a different mindset when you're trying to preserve capital and maximize income and minimize taxes than when you're younger and you're trying to accumulate and invest for the long term for the future. Those are kind of two different things.
They're different.
So I think that's what really got us started. And of course, I believe with the classes you offered to do a consult, so we took you up on that and kind of went from there.
What made you feel like that I would be able to help your situation?
Well, you seem to know what you're talking about,
Okay.
and you taught me some things, so I think I appreciated that.
Okay.
Um, I didn't really need to go to some dinner where I was not going to learn much that I didn't already know. And having a business background, I have a decent understanding of finance and interest rates and bonds and how those things worked.
All right.
But there's other aspects to a retirement program, and that's what I needed to learn about. And you seem like you had that knowledge and could help.
I've been doing it a long
And
time,
there's
right?
another aspect to this too, and that's kind of thinking ahead. My wife is not like me in that she's knows about finance or understands it. I handle the money in our marriage, and she's aware of what I'm doing, but she doesn't have the finance training or background to always understand how things work.
Right.
So my thinking too was we should have somebody on the side that's kind of an advisor, a helper, so that if for some reason I'm not around, she at least has somebody to turn to that can point her in the right direction.
Right.
So
Yeah. A lot of people say that. Right.
yeah, so there was that. And then you also hooked us up with a lawyer to get our kind of estate plan done,
Right.
which I was very pleased with the result of that.
Yeah.
Again, learned some things I didn't know, how to do it better, and I feel like we got things in place as far as wills, trusts, that kind of thing.
Right. Big
Like we should
binder,
be.
big 4 inch or 2 inch,
Oh
3 inch
yeah,
binder.
big binder.
Right.
Big binder. It's very thorough, and
Right.
it's not something I could have done on my own.
Well, you could download a 1 page trust for
Oh,
free.
I know. Yeah, I've seen online stuff, but I think you really want to know what you're doing.
That's an area that,
And there's little subtleties and
right.
things about the law that fit in there. I mean, there's a reason the binder's so thick.
Right.
It covers a
Well,
lot of
and
stuff.
an update. You have to keep up with it. So
Yeah,
every
that's
now
right.
and then they update it. So
Yep.
how have things been different since we got together, would you say?
You mean since the beginning or since
Yeah.
recently?
Well, since the beginning.
Okay. Well, I mean, we put some things in place that we didn't have or probably didn't even know would be helpful. Um, we've got a certain amount of our assets locked up in things that are going to provide lifetime income, which is a good thing. Um,
Right.
yeah, I think we've really they don't have much money in equities right now, so these ups and downs in the market they're not really affecting us.
Right. Right.
Other than
You
the
can always
fact
go
that
back in after the big washout if it ever comes, right?
yeah, but
If
I
you want.
don't really plan to go back in a big way at all.
Yeah, that's what most people say, but you always can. You just,
Yeah,
when it comes that time, if you've got your income set up,
yeah,
I mean,
and you can invest. Yeah,
yeah, that's really what you need. So,
yeah,
and we went through my smiling retiree process, and actually you took my online course.
the class. Yeah.
Yeah. And how are things different after that? I mean, you knew a lot of that. I think you even commented in there that, that we had done a lot of that, but,
Yeah, yeah,
any thoughts on that? Any, your experience of going through that? I mean, everybody goes through those 9 steps.
right,
It's just, I've just written it down,
right, exactly.
made a process out of it.
Yeah, I can't think of any big changes. We were already at that point, kind of on the road
Right,
we're on now, so
right.
we kind of stayed with it.
Yeah, and what about taxes? I mean, obviously, you have my books. You remember that those 3 financial tidal waves that I
Oh yeah,
I sketched out when I was at that conference in New Zealand back in 2016. Watching the waves crash on the beach. I said there are 3 coming financial tidal waves. So obviously those are here now, right? Rising interest
yeah, they're
rates
here. They're coming.
and inflation, if not taxes. We haven't done a lot of things with you on taxes. I mean, you were a W-2 employee, right? Didn't have your own business, so
Right.
a lot of the deductions weren't available. But what's your thought now that we're getting close to the time 2026, January 1st, 2026, taxes are going up. I mean,
Yeah, they're going up. Well, we've been moved, every year I've moved something into Roth.
yeah.
We're now close to, well, not quite, but getting close to about a third of our retirement assets are in Roth.
So you're insulated from rising taxes, whatever they do.
That's my plan. Yeah,
Yeah.
and we'll keep going. And now with me not being a W-2 employee, in fact, I'm just starting to sit down and figure out, where our taxable income might be this year, and kind of see how much I want to move.
All right.
Uh,
In fact, I think you called me one year at
yeah.
3 o'clock on
Oh,
December
that was the
31st.
first time I was doing it.
All right.
I waited till
So,
the last minute.
right.
Yeah,
So since then, but we
I'm
got it
planning
done.
better now. Yeah,
We didn't get it done that year, but
we
that
did
was,
get it done, but yeah, and it was only like 10 grand too.
all right. That was,
It wasn't very much. I guess I just wanted to get that Roth account open.
all right. We cut it too close that year. So this is
Yeah,
the time everybody should be looking at that.
yeah, right.
And like you said, get an idea of what your taxes are going to be for this year. I mean, I talk to people all the time that say, well, I met with my CPA I just last week was talking to a guy. He said, I met with my CPA on last year on October 14th.
Oh,
Well, that was for the year before. It
oh
wasn't for
no.
this year.
Oh
So
no.
that was the last possible instant. So
Yeah,
you know, we like to get it set up anyway. We don't have
yeah,
your final numbers, but now we're not doing your taxes, but for the people that we do taxes, we like to get all that set up
sure.
by about November 1st. And then after the first of the year, we just plug the numbers in. So, any other thoughts? I mean, taxes are going up, inflation's going up, interest rates are going up. Any other, I mean, how do you feel like you're better prepared to handle all these things now?
Well, I can look at what we have and kind of and project, what kind of income we can expect once we're fully retired. I'm
Right,
talking age 70.
right,
Once we start drawing Social Security, and it seems very comfortable.
yeah,
Although the things that's going to eat away at that is inflation.
right. And some of the things we've done will increase, so the income will increase,
Right, right.
right?
I
The-
think one or two of them have that
Right,
option. I should say. I think
right.
once you start taking income, you can take an option, which I think would be worth looking at.
Increasing, right.
Increase, yeah, something
I,
that would be increased over time. Yep.
right. We've always talked about everybody's biggest expense is taxes, but now inflation might even outweigh that. And
Yeah.
even, you remember in my 9 steps, in
Yeah.
the middle category, in the obstacles, taxes and inflation are the two big.
Yeah. And it's cumulative. It's compounds.
And it is,
So,
Alan Greenspan, everybody remembers him. He didn't, I'm told, didn't use the word inflation. He called it confiscation. So,
ooh,
and he was chairman of the Fed for quite a while. And
yeah.
you and I didn't talk that much about the term private family office, but that's basically what I've done. I've been fortunate enough to manage money over the years for some pretty wealthy people,
Yeah.
and bring those techniques that we use for them down to people that don't have millions. In other words, if you had $50 million, or use this
Yeah.
you would have your own office with
Sure.
your own employees. You'd have a CPA and a tax attorney and some money
Yeah.
managers, probably some property managers. But if you don't have that much, you're not going to have your own employees. So what I've been able to do is kind of be the orchestra conductor to draw in whatever we need, and then use some of those same techniques that we use for those ultra wealthy people.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know where we'll have this, probably on my website, but there'll be a link. And if anybody wants to, they can give me a call. I mean, everybody doesn't qualify for that, but they can still, like on my YouTube channel, there's probably 200 tax tips on there. So everybody can
Right.
get on that. You get those every
Yeah.
every week. So any other thoughts, Greg, that you'd leave the folks with?
Um, Well, I mean, if I'm advising somebody, I'd say, you know, if you want to have a good, secure retirement, get some professional help.
Yeah,
There are people out there that know the landscape, know the rules, and know where the resources are that you need. And I think that's the best way to go about it.
yeah. And and everybody uses it like somebody to do their taxes, but they kind of think that they're going to get tax planning advice from that, and they don't.
No, no,
If you
yeah,
read your engagement agreement, all it says is we're going to take your numbers and put them in the little boxes.
sure.
You do a really good job of getting the numbers in the correct boxes.
They're just plugging them into a program the same way I do it at home.
Right, right. Which nothing
I
wrong with
may know
all
a few ins and outs of some things and
that. Right.
but yeah,
But that's not tax planning. And I
no,
think, the more money people get, the bigger the issues are, less income and more confiscatory levels of taxes
right,
and inflation. So,
right.
all right. Well, hey, I appreciate you getting on with
Okay.
me, and have a great week.
All right. Take care, Navy.